Okay, so in Fluid Designer we're essentially going to create this ring which is pre-built for you basically if you buy our Celtic knot patterns, and we're going to just add to that this Harrington font. Now both of these objects are currently curves, and we can see that from the icon over here, and that enables us to create the ring very quickly and very easily. So if I just go to File and New, we want to create a ring, so I go to the Rings folder first of all. Now lots of the ring patterns in here, all of these for example, can be manipulated in the same way as I'm going to show you in this video with the Celtic knot pattern. So we're going to use this pattern here, the Celtic knot ring with a 4-leaf pattern. And if I just drag and drop that object onto the workspace, and I'll just switch the screencast keys on so you can see any key presses I make. So this object, if you buy it from our library, is under Celtic knots, and if I just take it back to its raw state, if I just remove the countdown to 1 and just hit the tab key, that's the basic pattern, that's the basic 4-leaf knot pattern that's used to create this ring. And so I'm just pressing the tab key there to go back to normal mode. So you can just take this object and drag it and drop it onto the workspace, and just by changing the count you can set the number of columns for this this ring, and you can change the appearance of the ring. So we can also change the offset here, and that will change the appearance as well. Now if you do that, you need a bigger count, and you can have it overlapping or not overlapping, it's up to you. So I'm going to set this, well actually no, first of all what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the inner diameter of my ring. At the moment, if I just open up the panel over here, you'll see that the inner diameter is that yellow circle there. Well, that's actually set at 15 millimeters. Well, the ring size I want is a little bit bigger than that, so I'm going to choose a different ring size. I'm going to choose P+. So I just click on the eye here to put it in display on the screen, and I'm just going to hide the original one by just clicking on the eye for the inner diameter. So I'm just hiding the original diameter, and what I need to do is to resize my ring now. So I want to wrap it around this new diameter. Well, I can do that over here. I just need to change the ring size. So I need to change the object from inner diameter. I'm just going to change it to size P+. So these are all built in for you, and you can see that when you do that you're going to need more copies of this pattern. So we just need to change the count slightly. So we'll and I'll change the offset as well. So I've got a count there of 6 and an offset of 0.8. That's for size P+. Now if you just view it from the top now you can see one of the things that's happened here is that because I've changed the ring size, this offset here is slightly not even now about this axis, and what that will do is it will affect the pattern at the top. And because I'm going to put a letter on the top here, I want it in the dead center, so I need to just adjust that. So if I press the tab key to go into edit mode, what I need to do is I need to just move this object. Well, first of all I need to highlight all of it, and it is. So I've just pressed A on the keyboard to highlight all the control points, and I want to move it to the left or the right along the x-axis. That's the red arrow. So if I just move it a couple of points to the left there, and let me see whether I'm going in the right direction. I'll just do a couple of more points to the left. It does sort of work back to front when you do this sort of thing. So I've actually adjusted this value here, x, to minus 0.6, and that's rotated the object now, and I just want an even spread there, so I'll just go one more. I'm just pressing the tab key to go in and out of edit mode here to do this. I'll try one more. Yeah, that's probably okay. I'll probably take it back to 0.7. So that's nice and even now. and that's got my pattern even at the top. Now the next thing I want to do is that this object is, as you can see, it's an even width all the way around. So what I want to do is I want to just make it a little bit wider at the top. Now there's a neat way of actually doing that, and that is if I actually click on the curve on the inside, that's our circle, which is our inner diameter, P plus in this case. If I just press the tab key and go into edit mode, and if I just select the control point, just one control point right at the top there, and if I change this radius and increase it, you'll see that the ring is thickening out at the top. So if I hold down the left mouse button and drag it, you can see I can thicken out the ring at the top there. Now I'm going to take it up to about 1.6. You can choose whatever value you want. Now it does add some thickness in this direction, but that's okay because our ring is 1mm thick anyway, so this will just be a little bit thicker than 1mm at the top, but that's fine. So that's one way of modifying this ring to give you that effect. So we've widened the ring basically at the top. So I can press the A key to deselect that control point and the tab key to come out of edit mode now. Now I'm going to personalize this by just putting a letter M at the top here, and we can find the letter M. If I just click on group library there, I'm going to use these Harrington fonts here. So you can see there's letters A, B, C, etc. I'm actually going to import the letter M, but I don't drag and drop it onto the workspace. I need to use append if I'm going to add an object that's already been created. So if I go to File and Append, I just go up through the menu system until I get to the Groups folder. You need to look for the folder Groups here, and that will list all the folders with the patterns on your system. And I want alphabet Harrington fonts, and I'm actually going to put a capital M on it this time. So I'm going to select Harrington font M, and when you append, you always append objects, and we don't want to worry about the cross sections. We just need this object here, the Harrington font M, and we just append that from the library. So that gives us the letter M there. Now clearly you can see that that's much too big. But first of all, what I want to do is I want to rotate it. Well, the axis that I want to rotate it about is the x-axis. So if I just rotate it like that, I'm just changing the value here in the x box, or I could just type -90. So that will rotate the M there, and then I can just drag it up to the top. Okay, so you can see that it is much too big, this, so I want to scale it down. So if I just press S on the keyboard, and if I type 0.5, that'll just scale it. Now this object is a curve, and we can see that in the properties panel here because we've got this curve icon. So whenever you scale a curve icon, you must always do Control A and apply the scale, and you can see that that modifies the thickness and puts the thickness back to the right scale, which is really important for 3D printing. Okay, but now I might want to modify this slightly. So if I just zoom in, let me see, I'll just go view and view it from the back. I know it's upside down, but that's okay. If I just press the tab key, I'm just going to delete. I'm holding down the shift key and clicking a few control points here. I'm just going to delete a few of these vertices, and I'm just going to highlight 3 vertices there and just move. And now I've got proportional editing on there, so I'm just scrolling the center mouse button to close down the proportional editing. I've also got the snap on, I think, so I'm just going to switch off the snap. So I'm just going to, that's it, I'm just going to move that out there just to open that up a little bit, and I'm just going to highlight a few control points there and just open up the M on that side. Now I've just done that because I've had to rescale it, that's all. Now this is probably a little bit thicker than I want, so because it's a curve I can just go to the curve object over here and I can just change my cross section thickness. So I'm just going to scroll down past the sizes, the ring sizes those, and I'm going to select 1 by 1 millimeter as the cross section. You can see that just thins it out a little bit. And if I just zoom in now, so I just want to move the object up, just position it. Yep. So you just need to make sure that it is going to overlap with the ring. Yeah, that's okay. I'm happy with that position now. I know it looks like a W, it's just I've got the view upside down, that's all. It is an M. So that's it. We've essentially created the ring now. Now, normally I would what we need to do now actually is join the two objects together. So if I just go to Tools, Object Tools, and convert the M to a mesh, and Tools, Object Tools, and convert the ring itself to a mesh. Now, the technically accurate way to join these two together is with the ring selected. If I just go to modifiers, and if I add a Boolean modifier, I can create a union with the object, the Harrington font. Now, sometimes in Fluid Designer this doesn't work, and what I generally find is that if you just go to join the two objects together, that is fine in Fluid Designer, particularly when you've run it through Netfab Basic and if you upload it to Shapebase. So that's actually done it. However, the Booleans work there. Well, it says it's worked. Let's just check it. So if we do Tools, Object Tools, and convert to a mesh again, that will apply the modifier. Now, when you do use a Boolean, you've always got to make sure that it has worked. So if I click on the Harrington font object, if I just let me just switch the snap on before I do this, just in case it hasn't worked. Yeah, just as I thought, it hasn't actually joined those together. Alright, so simple answer is you highlight the M, hold down the Shift key, highlight the ring itself, and go to Tools, Object Tools, and join. Now, to be honest with you, that's how I normally do it. I don't usually bother with the Boolean. I've just introduced that for the sake of this video. But I can assure you, because these objects have been created from curves, I can assure you that when you run that through Netfab and you upload it to somebody like Shapeways, you shouldn't have any problem whatsoever creating that ring as I showed you in the opening video. So it's just a case now of going to export it as an OBJ or as an STL file, and then run it through Netfab Basic. So that's how you can create a Celtic knot ring, which you can personalize with any letter of the alphabet. Okay, so that's it for this video. Thank you.